Good afternoon, it's Emma here from Scratch. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm delighted to be joined by salon business expert Liz McKeon today. Liz is a business expert and she is going to tell us all about retail revenue, how to boost your sales, make more of a profit, and how to boost your confidence and things like your knowledge in turn as well, because we acknowledge that retailing and selling doesn't necessarily come easily to everyone. So I'm really excited to get started and to chat to Liz and see what golden nuggets she can offer us. So Liz, if you are there, please do request to join and we can get started. And as always, this live will be saved to our IGTV, our Facebook, our YouTube and Scratch TV on our website. I will just see Liz is around. And if you do have or any comments, please do feel free to pop them below and we'll do our best to answer them as we go along. Liz, I've just invited you to join. Hopefully we'll get started soon. And Liz's handle is Liz McKeon at BizLiz if you want to follow her as we go along. We might be having some connection issues. Stay with us. Hopefully we'll get started soon enough. Let's try this again. Okay. Liz, I've sent you an invite. I'm not sure it's working. Sorry guys, and we might be having tech issues. This way. Hiya, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm so sorry. I could see it, and it just was just so slow connecting, and it just awful for you.
Silly.
I'm so sorry. I know.
No, it happens to the best of us. Don't worry. How are you?
I'm really good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's lovely to have you with us.
Likewise, and it's ages, isn't it?
It is.
It's the first one this year, so yeah, really looking forward to today.
Oh, Happy New Year!
As I drop the phone.
Oh no, don't worry. Amazing. So
yeah, there we go. Have to do it like that.
Fabulous. So to kick us off, maybe like a nice general one, like how can a nail tech boost their retail revenue?
Okay, let's make 2022 the year for retail.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, because I'd like people to start thinking about retail as something easy. That's your it's not hard. Retail is there to make your life easier and to help you make more money, and it's there to make the client's life a little bit easier. So it's not this big hard barrier that people seem to think it is. We just need to get it into a flow. Now, the interesting thing about this is if we look at it from a bigger perspective, your clients are 4 times more likely to be loyal to you when they buy their home care from you. So if you're trying to build up a client base, actually including retail in your service makes it a bit easier, because every time they see the hand cream or the nail oil or the file or whatever it is, you're back in their mind. So statistically, it's been proven 4 times more likely to be loyal to your business when they buy their retail from you. So it's really is a win, because it's a win-win for everybody, because the customer is happy because she knows what she needs to do at home. And you're happier because you're making a few extra pounds and you don't actually have to do any more clients to get it. So it's an add-on complimentary service that's included in the client service. So why not just go for it?
Amazing. I love that.
So does that make sense? It's not the hard thing that people make it out to be at all.
No. So saying that, so how could somebody sort of boost their confidence if they want to feel like it's more of an easier thing that should come naturally, but they might be feeling a bit worried or a bit anxious? What would you
Okay,
advise?
so I used to have a salon. Now it was skincare, and 70% of my turnover came from retail. So for
Wow.
every £1,000 that we took in, 700 was from retail. I was actually making more money from a few shelves than I was from an entire building. And I think what I know, it's incredible. So I think one thing that really dawned on me at that point was, once my column is full, it's full. And unless I increase my prices or I work more hours, I can't actually make any more money. I can't fit anybody else in. So what the capacity in my column, and in terms of the booking and my occupancy, there's a limit on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no limit on retail. Retail is limitless. So I think we think about this the wrong way around. I think about it the right way now because I cracked it. It took me a while to crack it. But the point I'm getting to here is, the biggest thing I had to do when somebody joined my team
Mm-hmm.
was to get them to understand that this is limitless.
Mm.
I can't pay you any more money if you don't make more money. I don't want to ask you to work longer hours and I'm not putting my prices up. So the only way we can get you more money is for you to increase your retail. Then I have more money coming into the business, and somewhere along the line you're going to get it. So let's work together on this. So the first thing that I had to do was break down, help people to change their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And see it as all one. I no longer, in the salon or a nail bar or anywhere that I'm working, I don't see services as one thing and home care as another.
Mm.
I see it as all one. And if my goal today is to really take care of my clients, and if my goal or my starting point is to help my clients as much as I possibly can, and to make sure they have as good a time as they can, and if I really want my work to look well and, stay on longer or whatever it is, and really sort of like showcase my work, if there's something on my shelves that my clients need and that will benefit and help my client, I have a responsibility to tell them that.
Amazing. Yeah, it really changes your mindset, because I have a background in retail and sales, and I used to feel a bit sort of worried and anxious about it, but it's not at all, is it?
It's not, but
Um,
but for me to get everybody on my team up to that 60 and 70% turnover, my starting point was to say, well, how do we help our clients? What's on those shelves over there that's going to help that client, client A and client B and client C? What can we talk to them about? So I had to put a bit of time and energy into teaching my team how to connect up services and retail.
mhm.
And once they got that psychologically, once that was in their thinking, that they understood it, that was the first thing. And then, then I'm no good at this and I'm no good at that and I can't do this and I can't do that. We're all work in progress. I'm Irish, and we have a saying in Ireland: every day is a school day. Okay.
Oh.
So none of us are brilliant at everything. Every day we're learning. We're working in an industry that's what makes it so exciting. Every day there's more to learn. So it's not that I'm no good at retail, it's just it's something new to learn.
Amazing.
That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's just something new to learn. Now, in relation to confidence, I hear people losing sales in two different ways in relation to confidence. One is lack of confidence in themselves, and the second is lack of confidence in the brand. So if my product knowledge isn't really good, if I haven't tried and tested all the products, if I haven't worked on them at home, if I'm not using them regularly, well, then I'm not going to have any confidence in them. If I don't like the brand on a personal level, well, then what am I doing with it on my shelves? If I'm working in a business and I don't like the brands, well, then I should really be working somewhere else with brands I do like. So I need to utilize the brand, learn about the brand, work it myself, and have confidence in that brand.
Incredible.
That's one thing. So that's a learning thing. And then the other thing that I need to do is have confidence in myself. Now, we can kick confidence around from now till 6 o'clock this evening, but I can summarize it in one sentence. For any of us whose confidence isn't great, the first thing we have to do is stop criticizing myself.
Oh, hear, hear.
So that silly little voice in our heads that wears us down. That customer could really do with this hand cream, but I better not tell her about it because I don't know how to say it. And I wouldn't say it very well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm no good at this. No, I'm just learning this.
Yeah.
I'm just learning it. And so I've got to stop criticizing myself.
Definitely.
And so stop criticizing yourself and don't let anybody else criticize you. All we can do is our best. But if you stop that inner critic voice in our heads, then you know what, our confidence grows. So we can do lots and lots of things around improving our own personal confidence. But the number one way to improve our confidence is to stop criticizing yourself. And no matter how much somebody else criticizes you, it's never as hard as we are on ourselves. So we have to stop that and just say, well, I'm going to try this today and tomorrow I'll be better.
Definitely. We all need to be a lot kinder to ourselves, don't we? And treat ourselves as if we would a friend starting out, or exactly the same.
Yeah. So in relation to confidence around retail, I stood behind the counter, and if you have a retail background as well, I remember the first time I ever stood behind a counter in a department store, behind a skincare and cosmetic brand, and the person I was working alongside, who had loads of experience, just said to me, at 9:30, I came in at 9, 9:30, she said, I'm off now for my coffee break, I'm leaving you here. And I was just, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think that's a very good idea. I wouldn't leave me here for too long if I was you. And she was very strict on me, and she said, can I tell you something? You might think you don't know very much, but anybody who comes up to this counter today, you know more than them.
Yeah, so true.
And that's a long time ago, but I remember that bit of advice so clearly. And she left me at 9:30, and she did not come back at 12 o'clock. And she left me there to figure it all out. And I've always thought, and then when people come up to the counter, I was just like, oh no, what am I going to say? And then I thought, no, she said, I know more than them. I know more than them. And I just have to hold on to that, like, whatever little bit I know, they know less.
Exactly. Like, mindset is half of it already, isn't it?
Completely. So if you've somebody sitting in your chair and they need a nail oil or a nail file or something else for home, they don't know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you do get it wrong, like, it's not open heart surgery, it's not the end of the world. Like, if you sell them the wrong hand cream, like, they're not going to die. We can make mistakes. And I think, I was working with somebody a couple of years ago, and I remember him saying, I have a no blame policy in my business. And I think we have to cut ourselves some slack. We have to be allowed to make mistakes. We have to be allowed to get it wrong. Because only by getting it wrong, we'll get it right. So retail is just something to play with, to practice on, to improve on, to, introduce to all your clients, and, make it part of your day.
Fabulous. I think we had a question come through.
Good.
You were talking there. I think it's about freebies. I'll just find who it is. Would it be worthy to kickstart by throwing in a freebie with a service first at a home-based salon? So what do you think about freebies?
I kind of put freebies in the same category as samples.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to give away something for free, then you're only going to make it harder on yourself. Because if you give me something for free this week, then I'm going to expect it for free next week. Why not get the sale first of all, and then give me a little sample, and then give me a little token? But go for the sale first of all. So it could be, for example, you really need this hand cream. So if you take this hand cream today, I have this lovely file that would be great that you could use that at home. So get your sale first of all. Mm-hmm. And then give your freebies at your own discretion. But stop avoiding it. Now stop this, I'll give this way and that way and the other way, so then I don't have to do it. No, you take a deep breath and you go for it. Would you like to buy that today? And it doesn't matter whether you're home-based or you're in a business or you're mobile, or it doesn't matter what your structure is. If you're taking on retail, you've added your cost to your business. Therefore, how are you going to pay your supplier if you don't get paid for what you've bought? Exactly. So go for it. The worst that'll happen is that somebody will say, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And they're not saying, no, you're a horrible person. They're not saying, no, I don't like you. They're just saying no to a nail file. I have a drawer full of nail files upstairs, thank you. And when they're all used up, I'll buy yours. So they're only saying no to a product. So don't mix that no thank you up with a personal rejection. And that's why people struggle so much with retail in salons and nail bars, because they take it personally when somebody says no thank you to a nail file. They're saying no thank you to a nail file. They're not saying no, you're horrible.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Killer Nails by Sarah, for your question. And you just answered a question I had, which was, you know, what if you do your sales pitch and somebody actually says, like, no, like for, you know, one reason or another. It's just, don't take it personally. It's not you.
Well, I say, well done. Well done, because you asked. The outcome doesn't matter, because you've got no control over whether they say yes or no. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you ask. Okay, so you ask, and if we've got 50 clients this week and you ask 50 people to buy a product, you know what, maybe 49 will say no thanks, and maybe the first one, 50th, will say yes. So the more you ask, the more you increase your chances. If somebody says no, that's great. If they say yes, that's great. If they say no, it's fine, doesn't matter. You just start again, you just go again with the next person. So stop taking it personally, and it doesn't matter if they say no. And very often I spend a lot of time in businesses teaching teams how to retail, and I can't, it's interesting actually for me, because I can't isolate retail. If I'm teaching retail, I'm also teaching rebooking. I'm also teaching how to grow a financially successful column or business. So we can't really isolate retail in that. But I would very often work with teams and say, right, for the next month, I'm going to run a competition, and whoever gets the most no's wins a prize. So if people are really struggling with it and confidence is low and they're nervous and they're a bit shy about retailing, and then the owner is saying to me, you know, she's cracking the whip with me, and she or he is saying, I get the retail up, get the retail up. And then I come out and say, look, we're not actually going to get the retail up this month. We're going to just run a competition, and whoever gets the most no's, I'd like you to buy them a bottle of wine. And they're just looking at me as though they're, you know, like I'm just like, get in the car quick before they black eyes. And then they contact me and they say, oh my God, our retail has gone up so much. This no competition really works. So then I say, great. Now we'll flip it for the next month, and for the next month, whoever sells the most, buy them a bottle of wine. So I will very often run a no competition, and you could do that with yourself if you're, you know, if you're working by yourself. You know, I'm just going to ask everybody, and I'm just going to collect my no's. And if I have 100 clients this month, and I ask 100 people to buy a product, whether they say yes or whether they say no, I'm buying myself a new handbag. So you get into the habit of just asking, and if they want it, they want it. But anytime I run the no competition, people are always really surprised at the number of yeses that they get.
Yeah.
So increase the number of times you ask, and see what happens.
Amazing. Such great advice here. And then I was thinking, what about sort of when exactly should you do like your sales pitch? Like, should you do it right at the end? Should you do it whilst you're doing the treatment? Or...
Now, this is a really valuable and important part of question, and it's part of the process of the service. And you know, the way I said, I don't separate them, I see it all as one. And anybody, you know, and you're very organized and you're very methodical in how you do your services, and we just need to embed retail into that. So you have a process about how to do the service. Now we need a process around your retail. And what doesn't work is you sitting there fretting and not saying anything to me till the very end. And then at the very end, you're just mortified and embarrassed. And then you pick up something, say, I think you need this for home. Do you want to buy it today? Sorry, it's so dear now. You probably don't need it. And you're giving me enough money. And you go into this big long rant. Well, don't be surprised if that doesn't work. If you were to say to the client as part of your consultation, you know what, there's a couple of things I'd like you to do for me at home, but I'm not quite sure what it is, you know, exactly what it is. And I want to get you the exact thing but I do need you to do a little bit of work for me between now and when I see you back here in a couple of weeks. But I'm going to tell you about that at the end. So sow the seed a lot sooner. Okay. Say it early on. So I like to include it in the consultation. So when I'm looking at the consultation, you know, whatever format that takes. So this is what we're going to do today. A couple of things I'd like you to do for me at home. And then, you know, I'd like you back here in 2 weeks to take those nails off again. I do not want you taking those off at home. So if you tell me all that at the start, if you have a business that has a premises, and you have your retail on display, why don't you say to me when I come in, this is the brand I work with. I love these products. This is the brand. And you tell me about the brand. And there's probably... So you show them to me.
Oh, I think you've frozen. So I think you've frozen, Liz. The sound just stopped. I'm hoping the connection will return in a minute. Not sure entirely what's happened. Yeah, people are saying there's no sound. Let me just have a look at my connection. It might have dropped out. Bear with. No, we can't hear you. Might have to just sort of restart if it doesn't come back. Has that made a difference? Liz, if you want to say something now, just see. Okay, I think she's dropped out and she'll come back in a moment, hopefully. I'll add Liz back in. Sorry guys, bear with us 2 secs. Hi.
Am I back?
Hey, we can hear you again.
Oh,
Fabulous.
I apologise.
No, don't be silly. So sorry. Where were we?
Why don't men listen? Somebody phoned me at 5 to 12 and I said, no, don't phone me back for about an hour.
Oh, don't
And then he
worry.
phones me back. So that disconnected. I'm so sorry. And
No,
I was getting to an interesting part. So the interesting part I was getting to, and I was telling you all this and you couldn't hear me, was why not, if you're sitting down, you're doing your treatments or you're doing your services, why not have your stock around you? It's really clever, I think, when people do this at nail stations. And whatever I need for home, just put it there in front of me. You don't have to say anything. Just put the retail version of whatever it is you want me to buy, just put it there. And then at the end, this is what I've used on you. Would you like to take any of these?
Oh, so easy, isn't it? Because I was going to ask you, where do you think, we should sort of stock the items? But right in front of the client, it couldn't be better, could it?
For nails, and I find it really interesting. There's a place I go to for nails, and when I'm getting, and so the nail stations are on one wall, and then I sit getting a pedicure here, and it just always intrigues me the way the clients just, and it must be so intimidating for the nail techs, but they're so like mesmerized by your magical creative work, and they won't take their eyes off of what you're doing. They cannot figure out how they come in with these dreadful nails and then they end up with this amazing work. And sometimes people would say to me, I wish they wouldn't stare at what I'm doing so much. And I say, you've no idea, like they're just mesmerized by you. So utilize that. So this is what you need for home. Just put it there in front of them. These are the 3 or 4 products. Your nails look absolutely fantastic. Now that's the hand cream. There's the couple of products. You know what? I really wish you would use these.
Amazing. You make it sound so easy.
but that's just the point. It is easy.
Yeah.
It absolutely is easy if you get out of your own way. If you just get out of your own way and embed it into your process, and you're really methodical around what you do technically, the technical work, just get methodical around the retail as well. And small little wins, if you had 30 clients this week and you asked 30 people to spend an extra £10 and only 15 spent, well, that's 150. That's
adds up, doesn't it?
That's an extra 600 this month. So small little wins if you're consistent with it, can change your life. That could be your holidays, that could be your car loan.
Yeah. All lovely things.
Outfit. Yeah, so we start getting clear about your goals. You know, you work very, very hard for not, you know, the joy that you bring to your clients' lives, the outcome that they get from the feel-good factor. You're not getting paid enough for that. So we need to find a way for you to get paid more. And retail is the way to do it.
So we've discussed retailing sort of in the salon or at home, but what about those that have a website and are online with things to retail? Like, what sort of advice would you give for those?
I was really excited during 2020 for people because I've said I had a salon and 70% of my turnover came from retail. For years, I'm standing at the top of my classroom when I'm doing retail courses and I'm saying to people, you know, 70, and I know people were just looking at me as much as to say, you know, yeah, right. But they were too polite to tell me. And then during lockdowns, when people were doing online consultations and doing their home care because they couldn't do the technical work, people were then ringing me and saying, Liz, it is possible. It's just like, I know.
Can do it all along.
I think if lockdowns have taught us anything in relation to retail, it's that your customers want to buy and they want to buy from you. But I think the feedback that I'm getting now is that people have got so busy looking after clients, doing the services again, that maybe their online, you know, their online businesses have taken a little bit of a hit. So I suppose my advice on that would be, you know, the potential of it, so don't lose it. And, you know, we are very much going through a digital revolution, and this is the way business is going to be in the future. So if you have an online shop, don't ignore it for the moment. It needs to be taken care of. It needs to, you know, you need to spend time and energy and money on it. Not a huge amount, but you do need to find a few hours a week to look after it. Because again, you know, I started my first online shop. I was telling somebody this morning, I started doing online consultations in about 2004. way before most other people. And I remember thinking, this is handy. I don't have to talk to anybody here except the person in the post office. I just have to come in the morning. I made money while I was asleep. And come in and just put my products in a jiffy bag, run down to the post office, pay to have them, or whoever's collecting them now, whatever way you're doing it. So it's like, it's good to make money when you're asleep. So that's my feeling, and I'm still like that today. I still sell my book and various things online, and I just love just the little buzz of just like, that money came in and I was asleep.
Didn't do anything, yeah.
So yeah, I do have a book. So if anybody, on my website is lizmckeon.com, and I've lots of information in there about selling and the psychology of selling and how easy it is. I think we make it an awful lot harder than it is. It's not hard.
Amazing. We'll drop that link in the comments below as well for people.
Thank you.
But Liz, it has been so much fun talking to you today.
I'm so sorry. You couldn't get me on. Then I disappeared halfway through.
It's fine.
So I apologise for that, but I hope that was useful. Lots of information on my website. I'm back in my classroom. If anybody is struggling with retail sales, I ran my first retail sales workshop last week. It's only 4 hours. So if I can be of any help to anybody, like, buy my book, give me a call. Yeah, but let's get you on with those new cars, new holidays, all sorts of things from your retail business. Yeah. So hope that was helpful for everybody.
So helpful. I feel like I've learned loads stuff from speaking to you as well. So thank you ever so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Likewise, and hopefully we can do this again. Like, if we have people's questions, happy to come on again. So I suppose on that note, we'd like people to go away and practice and see, does it work?
Absolutely. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, and then come back to us and we'll take it to the next level for you.
Oh, we've just had a comment through. Thank you so much, Liz. I'm absolutely going to start retailing. Never had the confidence before. Thank you.
Good for you. Go. Yeah.
Go, girls. Come on, we can do it.
It's easy.
It's easy when you know how. Thank you so much, Liz.
Not at all. My pleasure. And look forward to seeing everybody soon again.
Speak again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.